how to execute the showing partner model. I get requests all the time for our team's SOPs, our standard operating procedures. And today, I wanted to walk you through in detail the showing partner model SOPs for our business. And the hope would be that you can possibly use some of these in your own business. If you're thinking about adding a showing partner on, I'll give you a framework on how to hire that person, how to train them, and what they should be doing to bring you the most leverage. This is a model that my wife, Rachel, and I really firmly believe in, that we've used in our team. We've used personally for our own production as well. And this goes back to our lineage to Eric Hatch over at Hatch Coaching and Hatch Real Estate. Eric's been a mentor of ours for years. He really wrote the book on this model. This is not our concept. This is really his concept that we took and just kind of ran with, and we create our own kind of flavor of it. So shout out to Eric Hatch, the man, the myth, the legend. He really changed, in my opinion, the industry when he developed this model to the way that he did. The showing partner model previously, before Eric came along, was really a model used by teams where a team leader would provide showing partner access to the agents on an hourly basis and then back charge those agents for the showing time. What Eric did instead is he created this position as a salaried internship type role. So it's a very low base salary, but it gives this person an opportunity to partner up with a very experienced agent and learn real estate at a very tactical level. I always tell people, you have the potential as a real estate agent, especially if you're going to be a top agent, to make doctor level money. It takes years to develop the skill set to actually produce that kind of income. And if you look at the barrier to entry in real estate, super tough. There's a reason why people don't make it. It's because it's really hard for people to bridge that gap between going from a 9-to-5 steady paycheck to commission only income. Showing partner model solves a lot of these problems. It gives people a chance to come into the industry, get their license, have a low salary, and then have a little bit of financial upside, as they close deals with their agent. But they get to learn real estate from the ground up, and they get to learn it the right way, and they're not just fighting for survival. They actually can learn it and take the time to learn it right. For us, we look for a minimum 2-year commitment for showing partners. Longer is great. There's certain people who have aspirations to become agents, and this is their on-ramp to that. Other people are just really happy being a showing partner, and they just love being, someone that's a servant kind of, heart, and that's really cool too. It's a great way to become a top agent later on, but you don't necessarily have to go down that path. We've got one agent on our team who was Rachel's partner for 3 years on the west side, and then she went out as an agent within our team, built 24 houses her first year on her own. So her skill set was super deep. We always kind of give the analogy of a slingshot, right? She pulled a slingshot way back by having all that time working with Rachel, and then boom, catapulted forward and had a really fantastic first year. And now she has her own partner, so that's the power of this potential with the showing partner model. So I'm going to share this Google Doc, so you've got a copy of it. This is, as you can see, version 5.0, just most recently updated for our team. These hyperlink down to the relevant area. So we're going to cover the hiring process, the training process, the perfect daily schedule, the basic expectations, time off guidelines, holidays, that's like standard employment stuff. I'm going to breeze through that, but you'll see a copy of it nevertheless. Numbers tracking. We're always big on tracking data. Rhythms and routines, like what do you need to do each week, each month to be successful. Appointment set process, buyer sign process, go and show process. Those are specific really to Zillow. CRM Organization, short summary operating process and procedures. CRM showing partner expectations, CRM Integrity and Workflow, the FUB App showing home process, walkthrough process, key handoff process, the offering process, and finally contract to close. So this is a very in-depth SOP document. It's something like, 9 pages long, 10 pages. But let's jump into it. So the hiring process, we use the Hatch hiring process. We've used it for years. We still use it. It works fantastic. We try to think months and months in advance of when we might need to add a new person to our organization. So we're not making a rushed hire. We're making a hire that's very calculated, and that gives us time to find the right person. Not unusual for it to take us 2 to 4 months to find the right candidates and put them through the whole process. But this is the process. Step 1, cast a wide net. So basically broadcast the job opportunity to your network. That could be a Wise Hire as well. Wise Hire pushes it to different job boards, social media, personal relationships. You'd be surprised how many people on our team have come from our sphere or past clients. So don't neglect that area of opportunity for you too. Research candidates is the next step. Typically it's going to review the resume, look at their work history, scope them out online, see what their social media looks like, things like that. Not uncommon to do a career night. We don't do those, but a lot of other people have and had really good success with that. Career night allows you to have 20 or 30 people come in at once. You can meet them all at the same time, explain to them the opportunity, and get a chance to kind of mix and mingle and see if these are your kind of people or not. That can really cut through the crap pretty quick, because you like see how people engage with others. You see what their table side manner is like, things like that. So not a bad way to go. At that point, we send the person a couple of essay questions to respond to, and they do that. We then do a phone interview. That's like kind of like a first round interview at that point. We then check references. So like the reference check happens at that point before we invest more time or ask other people from our organization to invest their time. We want to make sure this person checks out. We don't just take the references that somebody gives us. We go what we call 3D, meaning that we actually will call the reference. We'll ask them who else they know that knows this person as well that we could talk to, and then we'll call those people. That's where you usually find the truth. It's not in the direct references. It's going a couple layers deeper than that. Ask that same question to that person and one more, and then now you're 3 levels deep. Okay. We do a panel interview as well. 4 of our leaders are on the panel, and we're looking for a unanimous decision by the panel. This person is in fact a good fit for our organization. Validation by department. They just meet the other partners and the agents on the team and make sure everyone feels good about it. And then we actually offer the job. Okay. So it's a slow process. It's not designed to be easy or fast. It's designed to eliminate people and eliminate them fast. So you find the right people that are actually going to be a good fit for you. Getting the job hire right is 90% of the work here. If you get the right person, everything else we can go with you today will be super, super simple. Okay. That's the hiring process though. Don't rush it. Take your time to find the right person. If you understand the disc profile, a really good showing partner is going to be an SI, an IS, an SC, something like that. So typically not a high D. Keep that in mind. You're looking for someone that's going to be really steady and consistent. That takes us to the training process. So we train in Go High Level. That's like our online academy. They go through a whole bunch of training videos. There's kind of a 90-day tracker in there that walks them through what they should be doing each day for each week for the first 90 days. We also give them access to the Ultimate Guide to Lead Conversion, which is developed by Robbie T at Hatch Coaching. Another shout out for Hatch. Robbie has really great conversion coaching abilities, and this is a great course that will help people understand the language of real estate and the language of lead conversion. Super, super important. Okay. And then they do some shadows. The most basic shadows are 5 ride-alongs with the partner or the agent, just seeing how they show homes, and then 5 ride-alongs being shadowed by that agent. So where like the partner showing the home, the agent's actively coaching them on how they're doing it. Okay. So we kind of follow this process where the person follows us first, then we follow them, then they go do. It's kind of like a 3-step process. If you follow that 3-step process training, everything's going to be good. Perfect daily schedule. We have a team huddle around 8:45 in the morning. Just a quick recap of the previous day. 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. calling unmets for the showing partners. That's going to be helping you as the agent keep your database kept up. There's some ISA work in there for sure. 10:15 to 11:45, send new listings to clients and make calls to them. This is your met clients time, okay? Not to be commingled with the unmet time. We like to create separation between these two things to make sure neither one gets neglected. 12 to 1, check the MLS hot sheet to make sure you're following the market. Clear all the inboxes. They will act as me and themselves in the CRM to make sure both of our CRMs look pristine throughout the day and are caught up every morning. 1 to 2:30, lunch, role plays, internal meetings, one-on-ones, things like that, trainings. That middle of the day is when we like to do all those things. 2:30 to 3:30, we give them total flex time to do whatever they want. Oftentimes they're going to do personal appointments just because they're going to be at late showing houses. You need to have some flexibility. If you're a Nazi about the time and have them punch a time clock and things like that, I don't think it sets the right tone. So we give them autonomy to their schedule, and they can be at office doing whatever they want during that time. And then they're going to be out showing homes typically between 3:30 and 6:30 when people get off work. That's typically when they're busiest. If they don't have showings, then they're back in calling in the CRM as well. At the end of the day, they will put a nice bow on the day by putting their CC numbers in, making sure all their home showing notes are in the CRM from what they showed that day. I'll give you the format for that later on in this video. Okay, so that's the perfect day schedule. If you get that nailed, you're going to have a really good foundation. Basic expectations to maintain a professional work environment. I'm not going to go over that or the time off guidelines. You can read through it. This is basic business stuff you just have to have in here. Holidays, things like that too. We still show homes on holidays. We just have coverage where the agent or the partner, one is kind of like owning that holiday, if that makes sense. There's tracking. The partner is responsible for tracking some of their most key data, and the ones that I care most about are appointments set and homes shown, okay? They also track their role plays. The standard is to hit 5 per week, and then the CSUD app gives them a reminder to punch their numbers in at the end of the day. So tracking their numbers is super important. If we don't have insights to their numbers, we cannot coach them effectively. If they've got 15 clients and they've only shown 2 homes, then we know the conversation we need to have. If they've shown 40 homes and they have 4 clients, the previous week, then that's a totally different conversation. You don't know unless you're tracking the data. So please track the data, identify what your KPIs, your key performance indicators are going to be. For us, appointments set, homes shown, role plays is the most important ones. Okay. As far as like the huddle goes, it's an informal meeting of the team. It takes about 10-15 minutes. We do a weekly one-on-one, which we call a 4-on-1, back from our Keller Williams days. We recap the previous week. wins and struggles, both at a professional and a business level. We do get personal or one-on-ones. It's not just strictly business because the two often overlap one another. If there's personal issues going on, it carries into work, and the reverse of that is true as well. So we want to know what's going on holistically at every level. Numbers review, appointment set, role plays, homes shown. I want to look at your numbers and see how you did. And then homework review. Typically in our one-on-ones, there's going to be homework assigned. I want to make sure that was actually completed. And then we're going to assign new homework as well at the end of that. Okay. So one-on-ones is really important. You can start with weekly when they're new. You can drop it to every other week once they've been with you for a while. My current partner has been with me for a year and a half, and we're doing every other week right now, which is plenty. And that's about 20 minutes long each time. Appointment set process. So like when they set appointment, they adjust search, they enter it in the appointment into Calendly. Calendly is really slick for connecting your calendar to like an interface to book an appointment. Very, very straightforward. It then provides reminders for the appointment. It also sends emails to the person to kind of educate them on the home buying process or home selling process. So take a look at Calendly. We also tag the lead to make sure it's organized on who set the appointment. So there's a tag designating who actually set the appointment that's currently now attached to that lead. We also push them through CSU as well. And so we'll track the data inside of CSU at that point. We use Follow Up Boss now. So Follow Up Boss creates a deal, and that deal is what pushes that into CSU. And then we go into CSU and we have this buyer appointment form that we fill out. So it's got all the details. I can kind of show you what that looks like here. If we go into, this is CSU, by the way, go to transactions. This is just a listing appointment I went on yesterday. So we've got these different appointment types. Like when the appointment is set, this is the form that gets filled out. When it gets signed, there's a form for it, and there's the same thing on the buy side, not a pending form as well. Okay, that's what it looks like inside of CSU and pushing it through. Okay, once we sign a buyer, so like as an agent, our big job is really to set most of our appointments, like go be the hunter, and then it's to do the consultation with the buyer, and then it's to hand them off to my partner for the home touring process. You know, we kind of break the home buying process down to a 4-phase approach. The first phase is the preparation phase. That's your job as the agent. Phase 2 is the home search phase. That's really your partner's job. Phase 3 is the offering phase, which is a combination of you and your partner. And then the fourth and final phase is what I call contract to close. It's basically the escrow process. And if you've got a transaction coordinator, mostly their phase to run at that point. Okay. But what do we do once we sign somebody? There's a passing of the baton from the agent to the partner. How you hand that off is really important. We will go into the MLS and we'll set up a customized search, and we'll set it up for an immediate notification, not to the client, but to ourselves. Okay. The client is going to have email alerts from our system, whether it's Real Scout or Ylopo. For us though, as agents, we set it up in the MLS just so we're not having to watch for the specific criteria this person's looking for. And then when something pops up that matches, we'll look at it, screen it. If it's a fit for them, then we'll go ahead and text them a link to check it out. Okay. We scan all the disclosures. We send them to the person. We use what we call a buyer signed email. That buyer signed email kind of recaps what we went over and also how to reach us and what the next steps are for touring homes. Okay. So each have a process in the email that kind of explains that. We're going to then tag the lead, which partner's been assigned. I've had as many as 3 showing partners at one time. You have to stay very organized on which partner's been assigned to which client. Okay. We then fill out the signed template in CSU that I showed you earlier. That's a form that you fill out. And then we send this group text. This group text is really the complete handoff now to the partner. Hey, first name, it was great to meet you today, and we're looking forward to helping you find a great home. I've gone ahead and updated the listing criteria based on what we discussed and just sent over a few more options to check out. I've also added Anna, my showing partner, onto this group chat, so we have access to one of us 7 days a week. And I've mentioned Anna's name 2 or 3 times in the buyer consultation. So they're expecting this, right? This isn't just catching them out of the blue. I set the table, I set the expectations in the consultation, and I have a showing partner, and I have a showing partner so they can see homes 7 days a week on their schedule. Okay. Super important. Go show process. Like our partners will do go shows for Zillow sometimes. I recommend the agent do them as much as possible. If they can't, I've got a process on having the partner do it. You can go in and check that out. As far as CRM organization goes, so we really ask the partner to own the client communication once the person is signed. And that means that we break the clients into one of 2 lists, A clients or B clients. A clients are like motivated, qualified, realistic, and coachable. Okay. They're going to buy a home. They're going to buy a home very quickly. Our cadence for reaching out to these people, I've got details in here on how to organize your CRM. So it's going to show you these people and how to tag them, but it's going to be twice a week. It's going to be a phone call, voice to voice on Tuesdays, not just text, but voice to voice, checking in on them. And then it's going to be sending them listings throughout the week. And then it's going to be sending them a summarized list of homes every Friday, encouraging them to get out and look at homes with you that weekend. Okay. On Bs, these are just less motivated people or less qualified. And we're going to reach out to them every 2 weeks. Okay. So a phone call every 2 weeks on Tuesdays, and then a list of homes on Friday to get them to go out and tour homes. It's that simple. If they're a C list, like they're just not that motivated or not qualified, that we just drop them down to back to a lead follow-up process, and we call them every 2 months. Okay. Inside a follow-up boss, you're going to notice, and most CRMs have this, like we came from CRM Interactive as well, they've got this background area right here, okay? And so we have a process on how to fill out this background. Shout out to GGMS. They are the ones that shared this with us. Josh Nikowski over there is awesome. But these icons give you consistency to your background. Just a quick snapshot. What am I looking at? Buy, sell, or both, price range, home value, location, additional search criteria. It's got these little fun emojis to put in there. So we use those. That's our SOP for the background, so it's very clean, okay? As far as like the CRM integrity goes, we ask the partners to review the A and B list every single week, and they've got a kind of like a checklist of things to look at. Is the client unsubscribed from the listing alerts? If they are, call them right away and see, because sometimes they accidentally unsubscribe or a spam alert gets flagged. Is the short summary filled out using the standard operating procedure? That's the background icons I just showed you. Are relevant notes starred? You want to owe a star showing note. Are the lender and partner added as collaborators? When was the last time they were on site? We're looking at their search behavior. If it's been more than a week, call them right away and through the dialer and put a note in with the outcome. Check in on them. We're looking for these people to be pretty active on the site if they're in an A or B, okay? What properties have they saved since you last spoke? You should send those to them to see if they want to go tour them. What homes did they view multiple times? You should send those to them as well and see if they want to go tour them. Do you have a follow-up task set on any check-in you need to make with them? And when's the last time you spoke voice to voice? If it's been more than 2 weeks since you've connected voice to voice with them, you absolutely need to call these people. You cannot rely on just text and hide behind that. That is not acceptable in our world, okay? So these are just like some CRM hygiene type things just to make sure that your clients stay very clean in the CRM. As far as the Follow Boss app goes, really helpful for keeping things organized. The partners are responsible for helping maintain inbox 0, which means all messages are responded to and archived quickly, and we use the app to do that because we're constantly on the go, okay? Before we archive a person, we will make sure we've responded, update the lead tags, update the lead status and stage, and update the automated traditional plans that are running on that person, okay? As far as the showing home process goes, again, like we're super organized and regimented when it comes to this. We use Google Calendars inside of Follow-Up Boss. The assigned partner is the point person for all showings. If it's their day off, then they have to get somebody else to cover the showing, whether if it's another partner, maybe the agent will cover it, I don't know, but the responsibility, the buck stops with the partner. They have to own that, and they have to understand this is a lifestyle position, meaning even if you're out of office, you're not necessarily off, right? Just as agents, like, we're doing offers and negotiating deals 7 days a week. Partners are showing home 7 days a week if that's what happens and that's what's required. I don't want you people to work 7 days a week, all the time, but there's going to be seasons where that's required to keep up, and there's going to be other seasons where they can work 4 or 5 days a week and have more time off. They have to understand that, okay? So on the showing calendar, they're going to put the client and the first home they're going to go see. Then they're going to put the other homes below that so that there's kind of a list of where you're going. When they're done showing homes, this is our format: MLS number, likes, dislikes, outcomes, FYIs. This is one of these per showing, okay? They can be combined in the note, but we want to make sure that we've got consistency in this. I'll show you what it looks like in Follow-Up Boss. Here's my showing notes from yesterday, right? Likes, dislikes, outcomes. And I've tagged my team down below so they're in the loop and they know exactly what's going on. I just star this note. That way it shows right up at the top, okay? Very, very important. We want to always be clarifying what people like and dislike about houses. We want to make sure that we're advancing the search every time we meet with them. Like, are we getting clarity on things? Are we missing completely the mark on the properties we're showing you? Like, we want to make sure we're not just showing houses, but we're actually like honing the search in through this process and this journey, okay? We require those notes to be entered by the end of the day, same day, every day, no exceptions. Like, we have to be in the loop and know what's going on at all times. If they want to offer, they're responsible for calling the listing agent and calling their agent, the buyer agent, me, right away to let me know this person wants to offer. That's when I will jump in and I will start, my job again. Like, I've handed the person off during the showings. I jump right back in when it's time to actually offer on the house. I'm going to give them very specific offer guidance on what they should offer. I'm going to talk to the listing agent to make sure they understand who we are, what we're offering, why we're offering it, and things like that as well. And then ultimately do the negotiating. That's a super important part to hold on to, in my opinion, okay? Once we go into contract, we do have a walkthrough process. We believe in doing a walkthrough 1 to 4 days before the closing. There's kind of a checklist we use for that, but we want to make sure that the partner schedules that, the partner attends it, they coordinate with the client, and they fill out the checklist. The checklist just makes sure that the keys are there, garage door opener is there, appliances are still there that are supposed to stay, home is reasonably cleaned, and sellers actually moved out, okay? We also have a key handoff process. Partners are responsible for the key handoff on closing day. If you, the agent, can make that, fantastic, but it can be really hard to make all your closings if you're busy. You're probably going to be in another meeting signing the next client. So you can rely on your partner to do that, and then just send them like a video message congratulating them on buying the house, or call them or something like that. You don't have to be there physically in person if your partner is. The partner partner will organize the key handoff with the listing agent. They will also bring our closing gift with them. We budget $100 to $150 for the closing gift. There's a handwritten card from the agent, the partner, and the transaction coordinator, and our closing coordinator. So from all three of us. And we typically do like a bottle of champagne or like a nice restaurant gift card. Like that's kind of like our standard go-to. Okay. I talked about offering earlier, but the partner is going to reinforce all these points when they're talking through whether the person wants to offer at the house. They're going to reinforce earnest money best practices, inspection best practices, the mindset like, hey, this is going to be really competitive. We may not win this. So we're kind of framing expectations. Escalations 101, like how do we escalate? Offer review date, like when are they actually looking at offers? Any questions they need information on? And the partner's going to chase down all that information. Seller disclosures, HOA documents, all of that types of stuff the partner's going to be responsible for getting. These are all things we talked about in the buyer consultation before we signed this buyer. So we're just recapping them and refreshing them on it. Sometimes it's been a while since they've heard about this stuff. Contract to close. So the transaction coordinator really drives this process. Our transaction coordinator will reach out and she'll do an intro call, and then she will actually call and update the person once a week as well. So we really believe in voice-to-voice connections and not just email. A lot of transaction coordinators will not call people. They just hide behind email. I don't think that's acceptable. People want to hear reassuring, like kind of conversations. They do that by connecting voice-to-voice, not text, not email, a phone call once a week from a closing coordinator to your client, letting them know what's going on. They put a note in the CRM, tagging the agent and the partner, and everything is dealt with and closed to the loop at that point. The partner will do the walkthrough and the key handoff. The agent will step back in if there is inspection negotiations to occur, if there's a low appraisal, or if what we call the transaction is on its deathbed, meaning it's about to die and the agent needs to jump back in and reclose the deal. Okay, so this is a lot of information. We're kind of a long video today, 25 minutes long, but I'm going to link this so you can download it. You just have to put your email in and you'll get sent a list of this SOP and some of our other SOPs as well. Always reach out to me if you're curious about this. I can help with Real Brokerage at all. We're part of Real, been at Real since 2021. We mentor hundreds of agents across the country and love to chat with you about that as well.